Hello and welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Just ahead on this month's show, we'll take you out to Virginia's Explore Park, where visitors can experience for themselves what it's like to ride in a covered wagon while learning all about history. We promise this is a segment you won't want to miss. Hope you'll stay with us.
Higher electric bills, sticker shock at the gas pump, energy can cost a ton, but it's easy to save money and give your budget a boost. Save hundreds of dollars in energy costs by doing just a little. An average household dedicates 11% of its energy budget to lighting. Using new lighting technologies can reduce energy use by 50 to 75%. One of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to cut energy bills is to replace conventional light bulbs with compact fluorescent lamps. They're more efficient and last 6 to 12 times longer. Remember, do a little, save a ton.
On June 12th, the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors will vote to approve a final budget for the upcoming fiscal year that begins July 1. Joining me now is Roanoke County Administrator Clay Goodman, who presented the draft budget to the board back in April. Clay, thank you so much for your time. Since you presented the draft budget back in April, has anything changed between that time and now?
Well, basically, we had delayed presenting the budget until April 24th, which is about 2 weeks later than we normally present. We usually present it the first meeting in April, but because of the legislative actions at the General Assembly, the board authorized us to delay the presenting of the budget for 2 weeks, which was very fortunate for us. We then learned of the various changes that the General Assembly had enacted in their process of developing their budget.
Correct.
And we were fortunate enough to include those in the April 24th draft. But the prior drafts that we talked about and so forth did change substantially.
And change to the good? You were able to actually have more money in the budget than expected?
Well, what happened was the General Assembly gave us an opportunity to take advantage of some reduced costs in how we proceed with the VRS payments and so forth. And we took advantage of those, which saved us a sizable amount of funds that will allow us to move forward with the programs about severely cutting school budgets or county budgets.
Right, and I know that the department heads also trimmed their budgets too, and so between the state action and the things that we've done on the local level, really in reality the service levels for the citizens, they're not going to notice too much difference.
That was one of the directives from the board.
Correct.
Was each year we received directives from the board. One of them is to not raise taxes, which we did. One was to minimize impact on service levels to our citizens. There will be some impacts, but they'd be very minimal. For example, we did increase the fee for the ambulance services. There'll be additional costs. We increased them to the current Medicare rates. The second thing is that we did eliminate some positions in community development and finance that might impede our ability to respond as quick as possible as we have in the past. And there's been some slight reductions in the funding for library and so forth. The main impact that the citizens will see is what we used to call the freeloader.
Right.
It will now be the payloader, and we'll be working with that program, whereas it used to be free where you could reserve the freeloader and reserve it overnight and so forth. We've now restricted the scheduling, and there will be a fee associated with that, and the Department of General Services is working on that right now.
And for folks who aren't familiar with this program, it's sort of like a mobile dumpster that you can reserve, and General Services will bring it out to your home, and you can have it overnight or for a couple of days. And it's rather than just filling your trash can, you can fill up this dumpster, and then the county comes back and picks it up. So,
yes, that's correct.
That's probably one of the ones that folks may notice a change in, like you said. As far as, we've spent so much time, Clay, talking about the budget and doing these segments for Roanoke Valley Television and putting a lot of information out on the web. And this has been a directive of you and the Board of Supervisors. Why is it that we've seen so much discussion, and why is this concerted effort by you and the board to make sure folks are informed?
Well, I think one of the directives I received directly from the board is the fact that they want our citizens to understand what we're doing in regards to their money. It is their money.
It is.
It's taxpayers' money. And we have a responsibility, or I have a responsibility, to ensure that we use it in the most efficient way, and we're very accountable. And with that, we've tried to use you use the budget tool of the development of the budget as your main management program for the rest of the year.
Right.
This is how we'll work in the coming year. This will tell us what our policy, what our priorities are. It helps us formulate our policies because of funding and so forth. And it's very important that we work on a budget, such as we do at our own home. And so we know that what we're spending, that we're meeting our needs, we're doing it in an efficient way, and also, more importantly, when you come to government funds, people can see what we're doing, hold us accountable, and ensure that we're spending it in the most efficient way as possible.
Right, and by state law, you have to have an approved budget by
Yes.
June 30, I believe?
By June 30th, we are required by state law to have an adopted budget, but we started working on this budget really last fall because of the concern of the economy and its potential impact on our budget. We are putting more time and energy into how we prepare our budget, but not only prepare our budget, but how we monitor our budget. We're meeting constantly to make sure that our estimates are on target, that our expenditures estimates are on target, and we're monitoring our revenues and our expenditures.
Right, because a lot of those numbers change these days. I mean, for many years, the revenues, they continue to be growing, and when you have that stop, halt in the growth, it really does impact the bottom line and make you have to be more cognizant and do a lot more with the budget.
Yes, you have to be aware of the situation. We have growing demands on us at all times, with less financial resources to address those concerns.
All right. Well, after the board approves the budget, June 12th, will this information still be out on the website for citizens to go and review it and take a look at the information and the details?
Yes, in fact, it's on our front page of our website. You can go and look at what we're proposing. After it is adopted, we will immediately start working on that and present it on our website as soon as possible, shortly, hopefully within 2 or 3 weeks after the adoption of the budget, so that people can see what was before, what was adopted,
right,
and also monitor it as we move forward after July 1 in the proposed new fiscal year.
Right, and very little downtime, as you said, because once we get this one behind, you'll be beginning to work on the next one.
Yes, ma'am, and in fact, we'll be monitoring our revenue estimates to ensure that they're accurate and that we are meeting those goals, and we'll do that on a monthly basis.
All right, Clay. Well, we've certainly appreciated getting these updates with you over the past few months, and we look forward to doing it again in the coming year.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And stay with us, everyone. There's much more Roanoke County Today to come.
Volunteer firefighters save lives.
Do you have what it takes? Visit RoanokeCountyVA.gov/FRVolunteer.
Or call 540-777-8706 to become a volunteer today.
It's a New Orleans kind of night. We're going to be at Amron's Wine Cellars for a beautiful evening of Cajun food and New Orleans-style jazz. Tom Floyd and his quartet are going to be up there with Charlie Perkinson on bass, and it's going to be a fabulous evening. You're going to pretend you're in New Orleans, and you're really going to believe it. Well, you know, jazz is getting to be so popular in this area, and last year we did a fabulous event with Shakespeare Dinner Theater, so we said, ooh, let's do some jazz, and what better place than New Orleans where it all started. Amron's has been a fabulous partner for the event. You know, they've invited us up, they've been more than hospitable. You know, Camp Roanoke is going to be doing the catering, so we're going to have a fabulous Cajun meal. You can come and you can enjoy the evening. You can even bring your own picnic if you like, or you can purchase dinner from us, and you can come and just listen to music and be under the stars and, of course, taste some fabulous wines. The event is Saturday, June 23rd. The doors will actually open at 6. Dinner will be served at 6, and the music actually starts at 7 and will run from 7 to 10. And the only thing is we ask you to bring your own lawn chairs just so you'll be comfortable. The cost, if you want to include the dinner, is $20 per person. If you want the music only and bring your own picnic, it's $10, and children under 5 are free. You can buy tickets in advance. You can go to our website, buy them online at www.roanokecountyparks.com. If you're only interested in coming for the music and you're bringing your own meal, you're more than welcome to purchase tickets on site that night. So we have a fabulous event. The Herman's Royal Lipizzan Stallions are coming, and they will be here June 29th, 30th, and July 1. We'll be doing 2 performances on Friday and Saturday evenings. It'll be a performance at 6, and then on Sunday the performance is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And these animals are magnificent. They are just gorgeous white stallions. And the wonderful thing about them is they can do what I call horse acrobatics. It's amazing what these animals can do in the show that they will put on. You know, Green Hill, we have the polo field out there. We're actually going to be out in the middle of, Green Hill Park on the polo field. Once again, we ask folks to bring their own lawn chairs just for comfort. You can buy tickets ahead of time online, again, www.roanokecountyparks.com, or you're more than welcome to purchase them that evening or that afternoon right before the performance. When they come out to the event, they're going to see these magnificent horses. And actually, you can find out a lot about the history just by going online. But the Lipizzans were actually saved by General Patton during the Second World War from the Germans. And actually, the fellow who started, there's, I believe, 2 strains of the Lipizzans in this country, and one of them, Herman's Lipizzans, he actually went in with Patton to save the Lipizzans. So you're actually going to see a marvelous dressage demonstration of the horses. They will do jumps, and again, like I said, it's like they're doing acrobatics, and they're horses. It's magnificent. The times on Friday evening and Saturday evening are 6 p.m. for the performances, and then Sunday we're doing a matinee at 2. For adults, the price is $12 if you buy them in advance, and then of course the price goes up the night of. But for children and seniors, the price is $10, and then if you're under 6, you're free. Any of the events, you can go online at www.roanokecountyparks.com, or you can call our offices at 387-6078 extension 0.
Enjoy a day at the beach without the drive at Splash Valley. Plunge down 2 3.5-story water slides, relax in the current river or pool deck, splash in our aquatic spray ground. Get wet and have fun at Splash Valley. Open daily through Labor Day.
If you're one who likes to take a trip back in time, then there's no better place than Virginia's Explore Park. And this summer's main attraction only adds to that sense of adventure. Here to talk about it all, I'm joined by Michael Carmen and Susan Hall. Both of you are with Spirit Riders. And of course, everyone recognizes Debbie Pitts with Virginia's Explore Park. Debbie, this is incredible. How on earth did we manage to get covered wagon rides at Virginia's Explore Park? I mean, it's so exciting.
Teresa, it is exciting. Our partnership, and that's a key word, our partnership with Michael and Susan with Spirit Riders is an opportunity for Explore Park to open up the 19th century area to the public again.
Our historic area.
Our historic area. And how we did it is the park is moving forward with the plan to create public-private partnerships.
Okay.
We've realized that we can't do it all ourselves, and we're actively seeking partners. But with Spirit Riders, they found us.
Oh, okay.
Back in January, I got a phone call from Michael and said, I've got an idea for Explore Park. We chatted a little bit, and I got excited about it, thought it was a good fit. I said, let's see a proposal on what you can do. So Susan and Michael have presented a proposal. It's a good fit for Explore Park.
It sure is.
Great fit. We're happy to have them. And excited to get people back into this area of the park.
Right, right. And Susan, Michael, you actually started offering these covered rides. I believe it was Memorial Day weekend when you had your real public unveiling. And here we are just starting into June. So it hadn't been very long, but just talking to both of you, I sense so much excitement. You feel like this is the home, really.
Absolutely. We're both very, very excited. It's a great place to come to work. We're still pinching ourselves of, wow, look at this historic, these historic buildings and nature. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's hard to believe, Susan, that this is a job for you. I mean, getting to come out here and take folks out on wagon rides through this beautiful area. You probably pinch yourself too.
Well, we do. It's hard work, but it's so much fun, and we both love nature and love animals and love people. We're both very social, and we love sharing this experience with people who've never had a chance to do anything like this before.
Right, and that brings me to my next question. We've talked about that it's wagon rides, but let's go ahead and I don't know if it's Michael or Susan who wants to kind of describe what it's like when you come out here. And actually, first you call to make a reservation, and then from there, groups of 8 typically go out, or it could be a larger group.
Absolutely. Let me let Susan speak to that.
Okay, about making the reservations.
About making reservations. Okay, you just call and we'll give the number and make your reservation and select what day and what program you want to do. We also do private events for people who have special things, family reunion, birthday, anniversary, something like that.
Very good.
And maybe a couple who calls or a family who calls, but then other people will also call for that same day, and so everyone goes together.
Very nice. So you make the call, you get your reservation, you come out here, and what can you experience?
You can experience lots of stuff. Number one, fun, some great service. We shake your hand when you come in, we shake your hand when you leave. Some great history, educational information. People are really enjoying, they just get to slow down a little bit and ask us questions. And people were finding out, we just had a gentleman, Ed, he just fell in love with these mules, and he just kept taking pictures. I can't believe how beautiful these mules are.
They are, and they're so quiet behind us too.
They are, and thanks to them, they get it all done. This wagon is very, very heavy. It's 2,000 pounds empty. We typically take 10 to 12 just to be good. There's not a flat place in Virginia, I'm finding out.
Definitely not here.
Not here, and so we make it easier on the team. And
that adds to the adventure.
It adds to the adventure. In fact, sometimes there's a little dip we go down, and just like on the Western immigration, people walked. They did not ride, and so we make people get out and walk behind the wagon till we pull the hill and they get back in, and it just adds to it.
It really is. I mean, I said at the beginning it's a trip back in time, but from what I hear from you, Michael, it really is.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's about more than just the covered ride too, the wagon ride itself. You actually sit in the back, I believe, and give some history, tell some stories.
I answer questions in the wagon. Sometimes I ride my horse in front of the wagon. Sometimes I'm in the wagon with our passengers. But we offer a lot of fun things besides the wagon, and a lot of the information is just fun. We let people watch us unharness the team and unhitch the wagon, and we have a delicious meal. They're served a really good meal, and the folks who come do a self-guided tour through the 19th century village. There's a sign on each building that tells a little of the history of the building, and everyone loves to walk around and experience that. And then we have historic narration and a little music.
So it's an adventure and history. The kids have to love it.
They absolutely love it. And we go back and forth of who's loving this more, the adults or the kids.
Yeah.
And it's just
or
really
the workers.
Or maybe Debbie.
Or I get a lot of rides.
I bet you do.
Lester and Festus, because we always get the question, can we bring some apples or carrots for Lester and Festus? And the answer is always yes.
They are very well fed.
They are very well fed, and we
very appreciative.
And very appreciative, and we allow that after we've unharnessed
Well, you think probably so many kids these days have never been this close to a mule or to a horse, let alone touched a wagon. And, they've only had a sense of reading about this in a history book. History comes alive at Virginia's Explore Park, Debbie, and more people need to know that.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to share that with folks. And I will also add that they can get information on the Spirit Riders at our website at www.explorepark.org.
Explore Park is not closed.
No, it's not. No, and also not only are we doing this program in Explore Park, but our Blue Ridge Parkway Visitor Center is open 7 days a week. Got a great exhibit gallery, film on the Blue Ridge Parkway, wonderful little gift shop. And great tourist information. But we've got 9 miles of mountain bike trails open, 1 mile Riverwalk Trail, new fishing area at Rutroff Point, and soon to be an installed canoe launch at Rutroff Point.
Getting back to nature.
Yeah.
You can go back in time or you can get back to nature.
Absolutely.
Whichever
you
want.
can do both.
That's true.
Come and spend a day.
Come and spend a day. Spend your entire weekend. Come on down here. Well, you had mentioned that when you go out on the wagon, the covered wagon rides that you can experience and listen about history and all. For, say, your typical group of 8 that are on here, anywhere from 40 minutes to longer, just depends on what the conditions are like when you're out there.
That's right, 40 minutes is about our longest ride. By the time we get down to the river, turn around and come back, we're just doing a nice walk. Or if there's a lot of people, we're just going to do shorter wagon rides, and you can stay on the wagon as long as you want, just right up in the 19th century village, which is a great way to see the buildings. A case in point, we just had a gentleman who had broken his leg, and he had a walker and a cane, and he said many times that he was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to make it, and we got him up there and got him down, and he just had a wonderful time via the wagon. And here's a man that was not ambulatory that got to see things.
Fantastic.
And the entire experience, Teresa, is about 3 hours.
Okay.
The wagon ride is a part of the experience,
Right.
but the entire session is about 3 hours.
Okay. All right. Just for people who are thinking about making plans, what they can expect. So that's a very good point. Now, you started Memorial Day weekend or around that time, and you're going to be here for quite a while, which just excites me to no end that you're going to be here through November, I believe.
Through November 4th, yes, Teresa.
All right. And I think you're falling in love with this area. Who knows? You may stay around longer.
Who knows? Who knows? I think I've got a couple of more major wagon trains in me still.
Okay. All right. Well, we just enjoy the time that you're here.
Well, I'm totally enjoying it.
And wish you the best of luck, Debbie. Thank you for helping, for your part in making and bringing these folks here. It's meant to be.
Thank you. It's been a great partnership so far.
It sure has. And throw out that website one more time.
It's www.explorepark.org.
And that's where you can go to find out about Spirit Riders, get the phone number that we mentioned, and go ahead and make a call and get a reservation.
And I'd like to add this. Debbie and I work very, very closely, and if we're not doing it and you have an idea, a vision for a special event, we can make that happen.
Very good.
And we're
shared that.
more than happy. We want the public to enjoy this, and together we can really create a really nice, memorable, customized event for your group at Explore Park.
Well, it doesn't get any better than this. Thank you.
Thank
you
you
so much.
so much.
Michael, Susan, Debbie, as always. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And stay with us, everyone. There's much more Roanoke County Today to come. Hope you'll stay with us.
Looking for a great place to shop outdoors? Come to the Vinton Farmers Market located at 204 West Lee Avenue behind the Vinton Post Office. Open Thursday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Vinton Farmers Market offers fresh and local produce, jams and jellies, baked goods, crafts, and more. Vendor space is available. For more information, contact Mary Beth Lehman at 983-0613 or email at mblehman@vintonva.gov. Roanoke County Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, along with Brook Hill Farm, present Herman's Royal Lipizzan Stallions. Witness firsthand the power and grace of these majestic horses, whose royal history can be traced back to the 16th century. Friday, June 29th at 6 p.m., Saturday, June 30th at 6 p.m., and Sunday, July 1st at 2 p.m. at Roanoke County's Green Hill Park. For more information and complete details, call 540-387-6078, extension 0, or visit RoanokeCountyParks.com.
Warmer weather is here, and that often means more door-to-door salespeople, which begs the question, how do you know which salespeople are legitimate? Joining me to answer that question is Officer Eric Orange. Officer Orange is Roanoke County's Community Policing Coordinator. Officer Orange, thank you so much for your time. This time of year, this is an extremely popular topic. You often get a lot of phone calls from folks who wonder, the doorbell rings and there's someone standing there. Should you even go to the door in the first place? How do you respond to folks who ask you that question?
What I'd recommend to citizens is just go with what you feel most comfortable with. Kind of follow your gut instinct. If you know the individual, obviously answer the door. If you're not sure who it is and you feel comfortable answering, then go ahead and do so. But ultimately, just whatever you feel most comfortable with. Don't go outside of your comfort levels.
Very good advice. Also, what do you say to people who ask, how do I know that person really is selling magazines or is legitimate? I'm just using a magazine sales as an example.
Well, as you said, we get a lot of calls this time of year with springtime. We'll get door-to-door solicitors, whether it's for a service provided or a product they want to sell. And there are several avenues that people can go to check out the legitimacy of the company or the product they're selling. Some consumer options would be to consumeraffairs.com. They can check out the website. They can even contact the Better Business Bureau through their local office, and see, if the company's had complaints or if they've had comments made. And another recommendation I would make is to contact your local treasurer's office in your locality and make sure that they are licensed or permitted to do business in your location.
Okay, so should the person is there standing in your doorway, are they supposed to have some sort of paperwork that would help you know whether they do have the appropriate license or what have you from your locality to be able to go door-to-door soliciting?
They should. The solicitor or vendor themselves should have a copy of their permit or their license to sell in the county or the city, whatever the case may be, the locality they're in. They should keep a copy of that with them. If they can't provide it at the time, merely ask them to come back. If it's a service or a product that you're interested in, then just ask them when they can provide the proper credentials to come back at that time. You'd be happy to talk with them further.
Okay. And quite honestly, a lot of people who do come to your door are legitimate, but you have to do due diligence to make sure that they are on the up and up.
That is very true. And some of the things to take into consideration are, first of all, if it's not a product or a service that you feel like that you need, don't feel pressured into partaking in that. If it's home repairs, driveway paving, if it's a product they want to sell to you, if it's not something that you feel like you need, then don't follow up. If they come to your door and they make a recommendation, we've noticed that you have some loose shingles or your driveway needs paving or you've had some damages. If you haven't checked that out yourself, go out and confirm for yourself or call a local contractor that you've known to do business in your area for a long time. If for nothing else, just a service appointment or for an estimate. And if you want to go ahead and go do business with the person that came to your door, you can follow up at that time. But before you've had the opportunity to confirm it or to follow up, I would suggest that you avoid it until you can do some further follow-up on your own.
Right. And I guess another piece of advice for perhaps retired folks, elderly citizens, if you feel like it's something that you're interested in, but you have a lot of questions or more questions and want to find out if it's legitimate, certainly they can give you a call or ask a loved one, maybe a son or daughter, to come over and to also help them make that decision.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of vendors or individuals who are doing solicitations they'll carry a book with them. And they may tell you, these are customers I've had in the past that I've had to write letters or I've had photos of a finished product.
Very good.
Follow up in that route. Speak to a neighbor, speak to a loved one, contact my office by all means if you have concerns or questions. I'd be more than happy to speak with them and do anything I can to help clear up the issue, to follow up from that point.
And is this the time of year where you do see a lot of questions or your phone does ring a lot more regarding door-to-door sales?
I do, and a lot of that is contributed to by the weather. Obviously, with prettier weather, people are more willing to get out and do door-to-door sales and solicitations. Obviously, it's a big time of year for home repairs and work, so you'll get a lot more of those calls and contacts where people have been pursued or they've been presented with or approached by a solicitor about some services.
Right, and if you do feel that someone is being, they're not legitimate, certainly give the police department a call because we like to collect that data.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do keep track of that data. We also, in my office, we get a copy of solicitor permits that go through the county's treasurer's office. We get a copy of that sent over. If you have questions, contact me and I can get you in touch with the right personnel. But we do, again, like you said, it may not be something necessarily criminal in nature at the time, but we do like to have those statistics. We like to have that information together. So if it's something that continues, or we can follow up down the road.
Well, in closing, I'd like to just let folks know that you're available to talk by phone, but also as the Roanoke County Community Policing Coordinator, it's part of your job to go out and to speak to civic groups or businesses about identity theft, ways to protect yourself, or just safety in the workplace.
Absolutely, yeah. Any program that individuals may want or seek out that would have to do with protecting your identity, personal safety, home safety, and security, workplace, we'd be more than happy to make contact with them and speak with them about coming out and presenting to their group or to the organization that they're representing.
All right. Well, I don't know what this means, to folks watching, but I've certainly seen a lot of your presentations, and Officer Orange does an excellent job in getting out and giving a lot of tips that people of all ages can use and to benefit.
Well,
so thank you very much for the time. And real quick, in closing, what is your phone number?
It's 540-777-8651. Or you can email me as well. It's eorange@roanokecountyva.gov.
All right. Officer Orange, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's all for this month's edition of Roanoke County Today. Remember, for more information on Roanoke County events and programs, please visit our website at roanokecountyva.gov. Hope to see you again next month.